What is going on, guys? Shooting Dave here. So good to see your smiling faces. Hope you're all having a wonderful week so far. Now today we're going to talk about presets. What are they, where do you use them, and how do you make your own? So what is a preset? Well, a preset is kind of self-explanatory. It's a predetermined amount of adjustments that you apply to an image. It's just a one-stop click and it apply, and that's it, done. So different companies like VSCO, they have their own presets, so you can get a wide variety of different film stocks. Some of your favorite YouTubers have their own presets, which you can download and apply to an image to get that look. Some of your favorite photographers do the same. It goes on. Presets are everywhere. So why would you use a preset? Well, maybe to get that look. You want a certain look. You want to emulate the style of your favorite YouTuber, photographer, or a film stock. But there are other uses for them. People like motorsport photographers or wedding photographers use presets on the daily, and the reason why they do that is because they need to have visual consistency. It's all about building in that look and carrying it across a wide variety of images. Wedding photographers' clients expect a certain look, and they often hire the photographer because of that look, and that will be down to presets. Some people like to edit every single photo inside Photoshop and do all their color grading there. There's nothing wrong with that at all, but it is often used that presets are the way to just plaster that look across every image. So simple, right? Just one click, done. Well, not every single preset is made equally. You see, cameras capture light in different ways, and their colors are often slightly different. It also depends on what kind of lighting solution is. So if I was outside shooting a motorsport event and I used a certain preset there, but then I went into the pits inside some of the garages where you're under artificial lighting, those presets may not look. So there is some adjustments that you need to be making to those presets in order to work for you. But anyway, let's cover that inside Lightroom. So I'm going to jump into Lightroom. I'm going to walk you through how to create your own preset and store it, and how you can apply it to different images. And through there, we'll talk about some of the drawbacks of using presets. So let's get into it right now. Okay, so we're inside Lightroom, and this is the image that I want to make my preset from. Now, I've edited it the way I want to. It looks pretty good, and I'm rather happy with it. So now we need to create a preset. Now, to do that, it's very, very straightforward. All you do is come over to the left-hand side where presets are, hit this little plus button, create preset. Now, you're going to be presented with a table that is going to show you all the things that you want to store inside that preset. We don't want to tick absolutely everything in here. There are some things that we want to leave out. So we'll go through this one by one. So treatment and profile, that's fine. White balance, you don't want to include that because, you're shooting under different lighting scenarios. Constant light, daylight, they're all different. So you don't want to store that in there, because if you apply it to a different image, it's going to mess up your white balance and not look the best. So let's leave that one out there. Same goes for exposure. Some people like to include exposure in there. I personally don't, because I'd rather go through and manually make adjustments to exposure to the images that I've used the preset on, rather than just doing a global thing and then having to go back through and take it out of lots of images that didn't need it. So we're going to leave that one off. Coming down the line, contrast fine, highlights, shadows, white clipping, black clipping, all of that's fine, so that can stay in there. The tone curve, that's where I do most of my color work, so I'm happy to leave that one in there. Texture clarity, that's all fine. Dehaze, fine. Sharpening, I do pretty much the same amount of sharpening on every image I take, so I'm happy to leave that one in there. Color, saturation, color, vibrance, and color adjustments, I leave this one as is. Split toning, that's fine. This is where you might put in the look of your image, so yeah, if you want to keep split toning in there, fine by me. Two things that I don't want to have in there are graduated filters and radial filters, because, well, say you created a preset that includes a heavy graduated filter when you're shooting outside. If you were to apply that to some product photography, you can have this weird darkening effect, which you don't want to put in there. So make sure you don't include that. Unless, of course, you are creating just a preset for outdoor photography, then fine, you might have to adjust it. But anyway, I digress, but let's carry on. Noise reduction, luminance, and color. Now, this is really up to you whether you include it or not. Not all images shot at low ISO will need that much noise reduction, compared to images that have a lot of noise in there may want some. So this one's really up to you. I'm going to untick it. Lens corrections. Now, I always leave this one in there because I always like to remove chromatic aberration, distortion, and vignette. So I leave all of that in there because I like to remove that from my images. Transforms, you don't want to include this one at all. So this is like straightening of verticals and horizons and stuff like that. You don't want that in there because say you did shoot one image that you're creating a preset from that's super wonky. Well, what if every other shot in your series is shot nice and flat and level? You don't want to go around and mess up the straightening of all of those, so leave that one off. Effects, post crop and vignette. This is up to you really, whether you want to keep it in there. I tend not to add much grain into mine, so I'm going to remove this one as well. Processing version and calibration. This is another way of doing color work, so you can leave that one in there if you want. Alright, so now we've whittled it down to the things that we only want to include in this preset, so let's just give it a name now. So I'm going to call this one Bug Preset, and because it's kind of cool and blue, I'm going to give it a cool name as well. So hit create, and there you go. Under user presets, you have Bug Preset Cool, and that's it. It is really that simple in creating a preset. So you can use this across multiple images. You don't have to go searching through multiple folders to sync that across different images. Select the photos you want, hit that preset, and you're done. That's it. So I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. If you've got any questions or any thoughts or something that I need to go over more in this video, let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. It really does mean a lot. We just broke 1,000 subscribers, so I'm super stoked on that. So the more of you that come along for the journey, the more of these videos we can do together. And if you haven't already, do follow me on Instagram. I am @ShootingDave. I post some behind the scenes of what goes on to this as well. So I'd love to have you along for the ride. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.